For latest updates and short audio clips, follow us on Instagram, Reading the Author.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Reading the Author, a unique show where we read authors' mind and not their book. Meanwhile, I truly believe and pray that you and your families are completely safe and healthy as well. Today we have Saili Tiwari ma'am with us, the author of Extraordinary and Eternal Grudges. Thank you so much for coming on our show, ma'am. We are highly grateful कि आप हमारे शो पर आए.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, for having me here. I'm really delighted that you welcome me with such a great welcome message. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. So, ma'am, before we get into the podcast and know more about your books, I would like to congratulate you for about your second book. It just released about a week ago.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So, ma'am, I would request you to please introduce yourself and let us know more about yourself, like about your childhood, about your journey of being an author and all those things.
Sure. So, hello friends, I'm Saili. I was born in Maharashtra near Nagpur in a town called Bhandara, and my primary education, schooling, everything happened in the same town. And soon I shifted to Nagpur with my family, and my high school and everything happened there. As a child, I was very much keen on arts, paintings, singing, dancing, and so on. And I was not much into writing. I started reading books in my high school, and I was a quiet and a studious kid, and I had few friends. However, I was really notorious with the friends who became close to me. So still, they are very good friends for me. And with them, I'm really, they keep my secrets safe. So I'm really good with them. And if you see now, so I really like traveling, and I am into painting and arts as well now. So if you ask about authorship, so that started very late in my life when I started writing poems, quotes, micro tales, and so on in my college days when I was doing my engineering in Nagpur itself. So I was a part of a lot of poetry communities and application development team who were into writing and so on. So I hadn't thought about authorship in those days, or being an author in those days. However, as I was an avid reader, I started reading more and more books, and my writing gradually improved. I became an avid writer as well. I started writing very often, and from quotes it became stories, then long stories, and competitions, and small publications, participation into anthologies, and so many things. So now if you see, in the COVID times, I got this opportunity that apart from work, so before that I must tell that I am a software engineer. I am an IT professional. So I started my IT life in Bangalore about 10 years back. So in the COVID times, I got some time to spare for writing and thinking about publishing and so on a serious note. So that started about 2 years back. I started writing very seriously about thinking about publishing, and here I am. Yes, it took me some time, but yes, my books are underway and reaching out to people. So that is it about me. Coming to my family, I have a younger brother who is still a student. I have a husband. I have my parents. So yeah, that's a short family. My family. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So as we all know that both of the books are released. So first of all, I would like you to talk about the book Extraordinary. Can you give us some insight, like if a reader, what can expect that from book, those who haven't read it yet?
Okay. So coming to Extraordinary. So Extraordinary is a fiction book. Its genre is short stories. So it is having 12 short stories, which are a mixture of fact and fiction. So I have some of them which are totally imaginary, while some of them are my personal experiences. So Coming to these short stories, so they are based on vivid emotional experiences which people go through in their life, coming from friendship to love to remorse to losing someone to uncertainty to loving life and the direction in life and so many other themes. So I feel it is really going good with the readers because they get to have a lot many elements coming together in a single book. So as they read the stories, they experience a lot of things in the chapters, and they also can connect with their own experiences, their own life. So yeah, so I think it is meant for every person, even a beginner or a person who has been reading books and of any age group can actually give it a try. And I feel it can be connected with a lot many people. So that is the beauty of the book, according to me. And yes, that's all.
Okay, ma'am. And I will just request you to give an overview of the second book, Eternal Grudges. I will let people to first explore it themselves, but still slightly overview if you can give.
Yeah, so coming to Eternal Trudges, so this book was released, I started writing it around 2 months back only, and it is a collection of some 45 poems, and the poems are based on a lot of different kinds of poetry, coming to acrostic, quatrains, couplets. So these are the types of poetry. If the people who are into poetry, they would be aware of some of the types of poetry. So yeah, so these themes are covered in the book. So who are really into reading poetry and into this kind of things, so they can really connect and read the book. The book is not very I cannot say happy-go-lucky kind of book. It has a lot of painful and sorrowful experiences as well, and some positive notes as well. But yes, the people who really are into deep poetry can go ahead and give it a try. And do leave your reviews as well. So I'll be really glad to get the feedback for the same.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you shared with us, like your first book, Extraordinary, is a collection of beautiful short stories. So, can you share with us like what motivates you to write on those topics?
Yeah. So as I said, I'm an avid reader. I read books, which are written by new authors, as well as I read books written by established and popular authors, coming to Paulo Coelho, then Robin Sharma, then we have Haruki Murakami, then we have different kinds of authors out there who are really good at their work and who are really popular. And then my recent favorite is Ruskin Bond, who is a short story, who's known for short stories, and so many other books he has written. And recently it was his birthday and he still released his book. So he has that fervor to keep going on, and he believes into writing and the spirit of writing and reaching out to the people through his words. So I feel words are really so powerful. I mean, words have the power to actually move the minds of people and make them imagine things beyond this world also. So they have this kind of magic, So I feel that's what inspires me. It's something which cannot be stopped. It has no limits. It is limitless, and words can really do wonders, I feel. So that in itself is a motivation for me. So yes, I learn from a lot from these authors and the books they write, and it gives me a lot of hope and inspiration to keep going and actually going and thriving for my own books and my own work. So yeah, so that is what I would like to say.
Okay. So like first off, your first book was a collection of short stories, then second one a collection of poems. So can we expect more such books from you, or you want to experiment a little bit on and try some other genres as well?
Yeah, so since we are on to it, so I'm actually 2 to 3 more books are underway, and they so 2 of them are already on poetry as well, and one of them is a short book which is a fiction love story, which will also be, I'm not sure when these will be released because they are still in progress. However, So I really wish to tell that yes, I have experimented a bit on that book. It's new. It's new for me. So we'll talk about it soon or later once it is really.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We will be waiting.
Sure.
Okay, so ma'am, my next question to you is like, I have been in conversation with many authors, and most of them are trying to build themselves as a personal brand. They're branding themselves under a certain genre, and they want to create a certain impact on the reader's mind. Like if from 5 years from now, if a reader sees your name on a book, like okay, it's a book from Shaili Tiwari, then what a reader can expect from that book? What you want to create impact on reader's mind? Or is there any certain planning going on around there, or anything which you have planned as of now to just create a personal brand?
Yes, Gaurav. So talking about this, I wish to tell some of the things which I'm currently working with. So as you said, branding is very important for author to make a place for himself out there in the community of readers out there in the world. So for that, I'm working with a lot of people like readers communities, groups who do book talks, who do promotions, who actually bring you out into the world. There are PRs and so many other people. So I'm in really networking with a lot many people. So like for example, Extraordinary, it got released some 4 months back. So in these 4 months, I have got to know a lot many people who know me by my book, and I know them for what they do, and we are actually collaborating and growing together and working on these things together. And also as I said, I'm also working on different new books to actually so that people can look forward to reading them and stay connected with me, and gradually this will be built. That is my hope. It will be totally organic growth or organic process of the same. So yes, as you said, it will really take time for it to be established. It will take years or more. I'm not sure, but yes, I'm on it. Actually, I'm already on it.
Okay. And what impact you want to create on readers' mind?
So coming to impact on the reader's mind, so my writing is mostly more inclined towards healing, connecting with people, and making them happy, making them thankful and grateful for what they have. So I feel a lot many people really look or learn something from the books. So I wish to do this impact on them.
So, ma'am, my next question to you is like you have said earlier with us, like you used to write a lot, like from writing short stories to articles in the college, schools, and all those things. So, as of now, do you have any writing schedule fixed for yourself, or it's just like a random? Let's say if you any thoughts strike in your mind, then you just open your phone and just made a note, and after that you just write, or is there a particular time you have allotted for your writing?
So as I said, like I'm actually working in IT industry. So for me, the schedule is really difficult, and I have to see to it that yes, in my free time only I do anything else which is there for me. So yes, I have a schedule. Schedule is mostly either after my work, which when I'm having the capacity or bandwidth to do so, and especially in the weekends. So I make sure, or I ensure that I prioritize writing in my weekends over many other things, because the weekends are the time when I can be really productive and actually achieve something which is out of my work schedule. So yes, so if you talk about schedule, I have that very much planned each week or each day. Yes.
Well, my next question to you is like, as we all know that competition is everywhere. In every single field there is competition. But when it comes to like the writing industry, we can see that numbers of authors are getting published every week. So what sort of competition do you feel from them, or what's your strategy against them?
Okay, so talking of competition, to be honest, in the world of writing, I don't feel that I'm really into the competition. Why? I'll tell you the reason as well. So the reason is, for me, I feel every book or every author is unique and his writing style is unique. if I read a book, I can take some things in from the book. If I read another book, I have different things to take in from that book. So every writer has his own capabilities, his own strengths, his own depth in the writing, and his own strategy with which the readers can take away certain aspects from the book. So I don't feel it's really a rat race, and really I feel every writer has his own scope, and if he can touch a reader's heart or mind, then he has a way to go. So that is what is my personal belief. So if a writer is really working hard to improve himself and his abilities and network with people in his best possible way, he can really reach there, maybe soon or later, maybe whenever it is possible. So coming to the strategy and the market, yes, authors have to do a lot of promotions. A lot of promotional activities are required. It is said that the time taken for writing a book and the time taken to promote the book and actually make it read and reach out to people is almost the same, or even promotional activities are more. It needs more time, more efforts. So yes, we as authors, we actually put tremendous efforts. We strive and we actually put those efforts to do so. And I'm also doing it. I know that journey is really tough and I'm on to it. But in a way, I'm really liking it. It is good because I keep getting continuous feedback and love and support from people. So I feel it's really a great journey. This competition is for good, for it is helping me grow in a way and develop myself. So I take it in that way.
What I feel personally, ma'am, that this industry is a daily rewarding industry. Let's say if anyone read your book, then instantly that person will contact you. So that's small happiness every day.
Yes, exactly. You got the gist of it. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So my next question to related to only this one, ma'am. What I personally feel, or what I have been in conversation with many other authors also. Then we have also discussed this topic. What I personally feel is that readers are getting less day by day, because as we can see that most of the youth or most of the people are just inclined towards their mobile phones, just surfing and just swiping up their 15 seconds videos, and reading and completing a book needs a hell lot of patience. So what we can do, or what as an author or whoever is responsible for this marketing and all those things, what they can do to make youth or make readers inclined towards the book once again. Because what I feel that anyone can just buy and read a book, or the book is available on their phone in the Kindle form, or there are many other ways in PDF format they can read, but still they are not reading it. So what's your take on that?
What I felt is, yes, you're right. If you see 10 years back, the readers were more, because there was no digital industry, and there was the things were slow, and they used to take their own time and actually like the things in their own way and cherish these kind of things. And today, if you see, people don't have the patience and time to actually go through long reading hours, or actually take out time and put so much efforts. And only who are really bibliophiles and who are into reading and who are the lovers of books, they actually put so much efforts. So as an author, I also have that challenge to actually take it out and promote the book in such a way that yes, the readers are influenced and they are ready to buy it and read it. So I have to connect through their mind, and what are their wishes and what are their needs that they are looking for. But primarily, if you ask me, when I start writing, I don't really see it to be commercial, or see it to be okay how they will take it and just will it sell or not. I don't know. Writing should be fluous and very it should be instinctive, and of course there are improvements needed, and readers' perspectives and all, everything should be kept into mind, but they should be the secondary thing. First thing is what you want to write, how instinctive, or what are your expressions, and what is your strength that could help and come out in the words. So if you ask this, it is a challenge, and it is a continuous challenge for authors, and authors have to have their own ways of strategizing and reaching out to people. That is one thing.
Okay, so now coming to your personal life, ma'am, like as you have published a couple of books now, can you share with us like what was your mental state when the first time your book was being published? What was your thought process, and have you just set in any milestone for your books, like okay, this much people knows me, so the book has to be sold this much in these days, anything like that?
So coming to milestones, initially while writing the book, I had my posters, my post-its ready that I have to publish this book by this date. I have to work through it and meet my goal, or I have to publish 2 books by this month. And whatever, if we don't set those goals, we will never work for it. So I had those goals ready for me. And coming to selling part, yes, I don't have a goal that 1,000 or 2,000 copies should be sold by the end of the year, but soon I'll be coming out with that also. As of now, I'm totally inclined to making it reach out to as many people as possible. Yeah.
Okay. And can you share with us like what was the happiest moment of your life till now?
Till now, if you say, there are many, but of late, yes, it is about Extraordinary. The day I saw it on Amazon or becomeshakespeare.com and so many other channels, and I was receiving so much of love from so many people, my friends, and I got recognized for that, and I was really on the 7th cloud and I was really happy that yes, finally it is published after a long time, after so much efforts, after so much of hassles. So yes, so of late, yes, that was my happiest moment.
Definitely a life-changing experience for any author.
Correct, right.
Okay. So ma'am, one more question from your mental state, like what's your current mental state as of now, and as an author and as a person, like what are the things which you want to focus upon?
Right. So if you see, I'm actually a positive person. I find out ways to be positive and optimistic about things. If you see, in the COVID situation, we have a lot of challenges: economical, professional, personal, and the mental state is not so stable for so many people. There are so many thoughts, so many negativities. The news channels, the surroundings is very tensed these days, right? So yes, my mental state is also on the similar way. However, I ensure that every day some kind of positive things I do which inspire me as well as my family members, because it is really challenging for everyone, and we need a lot of inspiration in this time for ourselves as well as for others. If we don't do it, if we only keep on worrying and becoming tense about everything, it will actually aggravate the situation. It will make it worse more than anything. So yes, so I feel my mental state is also, yes, I am also tensed, yes, but I try to be as much positive as possible. And coming to one more thing, I am really nostalgic of late because I used to travel a lot, and I used to do photography and everything. So being an outgoer and a traveler, so I'm homebound and I'm stuck at home. So I'm feeling little anxious because of that. That anxiety is peeping in and so many things. So yes, still I'm trying my best to be positive, Gaurav. Yeah.
Definitely, ma'am. And as an author, what are the things which you want to focus upon?
As an author, so as I said, a few of my books are underway, and I have to keep working with the publishing teams for cover design, for interior files, for some of the editing things, and this and that. So it keeps happening now and then. So every day, if you see, or at least 3 to 4 times a week, I have to sit and actually do some of the activities which are needed for the same. And as I said, I have to also focus about the next step or the upcoming steps as an author. So there is a lot to do, yes, and managing the work, the profession, as well as this is kind of overwhelming for me, but I have to find a way to balance both of them, and I'm in the process.
Okay, so my last question to you is, ma'am, like, what are your advices for upcoming authors? Like the person who is still holding his story in his hand and the book is not yet published. So what's your advice for them?
Yes, a few things which I have learned as in my own life. Some of the things are like sometimes or most of the writers actually kill their dreams of getting published. Why they kill it? Either it is because it's not supported by their families, or they are not encouraged, or they have negative comments, or they think too much that what people are going to think, how they will react to this step, and so many other things. There are so many prejudice and judgments in the society, right? So yes, so this happens with everyone. Most of us face these kind of things at some point of life or other. But I feel believing in your own self and actually having the confidence, having the self-esteem, believing that yes, no matter what, I will take that step, I will stand for it, take that stand and go for it, and at least take a small step. If you want to get published, you participate in some of the publishing. There's so many anthologies out there who are looking for people to co-author the books, and so many other platforms are there. So take those small steps and actually boost your own confidence. Go for it and do that which makes you happy. Eventually, if you don't go for it, if you are afraid and you don't have the courage and you're bogged down by the negative comments or what people will think and so on and so forth, you'll really give up on your own self and you'll only be left with the regrets later. So it's better to go for it and have the courage to actually stand for yourself. And it's not so difficult. You have to face a lot many challenges, but eventually, if you really have the courage, have the leap of faith, then you can do it. That is what I feel. And all the best for the upcoming writers. If they are really listening to this, I hope this helped them in some way.
Definitely. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this episode. And if you do, then do follow our podcast, Reading the Author, available on all the leading podcast platforms. And don't forget to buy and read the books. Just go on Amazon and search Saili Tiwari and you will find both of the books. Just buy them and read them. It was an amazing experience to have you on the show, ma'am. Thank you for enlightening us with your words.
Thank you so much, Gaurav.